Finally, the moment a couple of you have been waiting for.
It's all like bing bong, Jack.
Coming to you from an undisclosed location in Duval and St. Johns County. The show for Jag fans by Jag fans.
You can't have a newcomer come in and steal the show.
Here are your hosts, Franklin and Michael how you say it? DeZoba. Welcome to the Jaggernaut Podcast.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another Jaggernaut Podcast. I'm your host, Michael. As always, I got my brother Franklin with me. Frank, give him a shout out.
All right. What's up, Jag fans? Christmas season, and it is once again time for us to not be in the playoff hunt.
Well, we're used to this, right? Is this what the city deserves? Is this what the fans deserve from the team? Now, truth be told, did anybody coming in think we would be in the playoffs this year? Truth be told.
Well, I mean, no. Well, here's the deal. Making the playoffs is one thing, but being in the hunt, yes, I expected them to be in the hunt. This is not a difficult division. Once again, the AFC South has opened itself up to because we thought the Colts were going to be a lot better than what they are. And the Titans are as good as we thought they were, but they're gettable. I mean, so the point is that there's an opportunity for us to have been talked about. I wasn't saying we should dethrone the Titans. I was saying we should look like a team that could possibly. I don't see that right now. We have to change drastic. We have to play totally different than what we've played up to this point.
See, and so I agree. However, my caveat is about the offense. I think the offense is progressing. I see it progressing, and I see good things with the offense. That's why I'm going to go back to my moniker. Woohoo! Travis and Trevor. TNT. Boom. Put that out there.
They don't deserve any monikers.
Well, I'm putting it out there. Sometimes cool monikers make people want to live up to them. That's my hope.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind the idea. It'd be something to sort of hang your hat on, I guess. That, maybe you can anoint them when they begin to win games. When that duo is turning a profit, so to speak. When it actually is doing what they have to win some games. It can't just be the way it's been right now. And I know the defense is the main issue, but So whatever. It's just a difficult sell for me right now. But I like the idea, but I'd put that in the back burner for now.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. But hey, sometimes you got to start the way we've started. Now, granted, we've started this way every year for the last 20 years. Woohoo! So if you're out there doing mock drafts and looking at players, well, go ahead, because this is about the time of year where that stuff happens.
Yeah.
The college season is wrapping up. It's almost over, or is over, except for the playoffs, and that is what it is.
Well, so let's discuss, because the barometer is the way that we play against these teams. And the last game, the last example, the last litmus test that we got was the Chiefs game. The thing that was frustrating about that game, and it's not that you lose, like I said going in, when we beat the Raiders, that wasn't anything to me, because I sort of, this team can win games against bad teams, so I'm certainly not upset that we lost. But if you think about the way that we lost, once again, it was an interesting way to lose, because we started that game with that onside kick, which meant we had more opportunities than the Chiefs had. And not only did we have the onside kick recovery, we also had that turnover. So when the Chiefs got the ball, they turned the ball over. So then we had the turnover at the end of the first half as well. And we still came away it was still 20-7 at the end of the half. that half, and this is the killer instinct or lack of it or whatever you want to call that this team has. We find a way, and the coaches are doing whatever they can to sort of get energized, and we find whatever way we can to make sure that we don't capitalize on opportunities. We should have been tied. That game should have been tied. The field goal kicker that they went out and got, that they loved, that they had their eye on, missed 2 field goals. A touchdown was removed because Cam Robinson doesn't know what he's doing, and this is a guy we invested in.
So that's not true. Okay, so it was an RPO, right? If Trevor runs the ball there, if he just takes it and runs, Cam Robinson does not get that flag. What Trevor did was look like he was running to pull the defense to him and then throw over. The minute he threw that
that's
ball.
A good point.
So as mad as I want to be at Cam Robinson, he does not deserve my rate. It's not Cam Robinson. Cam Robinson assumed run, went and blocked like it was a run. Just wasn't, I don't know if you have to hold your water a little bit more on there. I don't really know.
It was a great play by Trevor too.
It was a fantastic play. So there's nobody really to be mad. I don't think there's anybody really to be mad at. That's just happenstance. It happened. Ain't shit you can do about it. You just take it and move on.
It's just another in a long line of frustrating things. The Chiefs have situations like that happen. I don't know. The good teams, for whatever reason, find ways to score. We find ways to not score.
But again, what about Kadarius Toney being wide open on a blown coverage where he's tiptoeing into the touchdown?
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's.
How about Patrick Mahomes picking up a first down on a 3rd and 8 because Arden Key not only falls for the play action, he runs literally over to the other defensive end, leaving that whole side. He has contained. He's Arden Key. He is 6 years in the damn league. How do you not know you have contained on that side?
The whole defense is a motley crew of people making boneheaded plays. I've never seen it. It looks, for all the world, it looks like a team that should be good. Like there's talent there, but they are just not. They're not smart players, maybe, or the scheme is so. What they appear to be doing. What they appear to be doing is mixing the fronts. I've noticed this with Josh Allen. Everybody's, and reasonably so, going, where's Josh Allen at? This is the time when he's supposed to be. Well, watch him play. A lot of times he's just not pass rushing. They just don't have him pass rushing. Whatever they've got him doing, it isn't pass rushing. He's not pass rushing a lot of the times. And when he does, he's not sudden. I just think that at no point in time do they pin their ears back. The linebackers on this team are an absolute joke. I can't tell you how many times I see Devin Lloyd in the same hole as Olukun. I don't know why they're doing it. I don't know why, because the play is always the other side, because that's where the hole is. So, because they vacated an area, and that happened on Kadarius Toney's touchdown. If you go back and you watch that, the whole defense is all the way over on the other side of the field. Everybody's gone. It's weird. I don't know what's going on. I really struggle to understand. Here's what I would propose, and this is something Pete Prisco mentioned this too. Look, Devin Lloyd is not playing well. He's just not. He doesn't know where he's supposed to be. He doesn't know what he's supposed to be doing. Whatever he does, it's the wrong thing, apparently. I'm not completely impressed with Olukun either. This is something I worried about when we picked him up from Atlanta. I wondered, because I didn't watch footage on this guy. I don't know what he's doing. But he appears to be making all of his tackles behind the line of scrimmage, not We have no players that go upfield and make their plays. All of the plays are left to right, but trailing. So all of the offensive plays are 5 to 6 yard gains by the time our linebackers are involved or engaged. So we're completely just being pushed down the field as a defense, and our linebackers are at a. So let me just say this. Here's what I'm thinking. Trayvon Walker is. He's still not a pass rusher. He's still doing one move, bull rush. Has he ever done a spin? Does he ever do a chop? I swear it's the same thing. It's this every time. He gets held a lot, by the way, and he needs to start, because he's getting held a lot. Right. Nobody's calling it. But the point is that he's not a defensive end. He's just not. He's got no moves. Put him inside. Put him inside, because we're running Arden Key, like you just mentioned. Why is he he's a third down specialist, and we're light on defensive tackle. Put him in and put Lloyd at defensive end, and let him go upfield. He in middle linebacker, he doesn't know what he's doing. Bring Muma in. Muma seems like he has some concept. Every time I see Muma, or at least it seems like Muma makes plays upfield. Lloyd is doing what Olukun's doing, which is this, dropping back in zone and being in the wrong zone. So I'd almost rather us attack. We're playing too defensive, maybe. I don't know. This is the only thing I can see that may spark something in our defense.
Okay, so let me ask you a question. So I've been thinking about this too. As well as my little moniker there. I've been thinking about this too. What happens if on third and long situations? Here's what we do. We take Trayvon Walker and we move him inside right beside Josh Allen. We bring in whoever our 3 technique is, the big nose tackle that's going to eat up a double team, right? Then we put Smoot in, right, as the other defensive end. And then we bring in Lloyd to play where Walker is now vacated. We have Muma and Oluokun as our middle linebackers. That's our rush package. At that point, Josh Allen and Trayvon Walker can do stunts. They can do twists. You could do a lot of stuff with them to affect the quarterback. And then you have Lloyd, who rushed plenty at Utah. So why that makes sense to me. And then you have Smoot on the field. Smoot is our best player at the moment. He has to be on the field when it matters.
No, I agree. So, he's the only one. So me, you know why? He's the only one that does. He has a repertoire of he seems to be the only one that understands how football works. I mean, Josh Allen is the same thing. I honestly don't know, and he's done some moves here and there, but he's not sudden, so he's always on the outside. I don't know what to do with that guy, honestly. I'm a little he's kind of like Lloyd from the defensive end position. He does not appear to be fast enough to affect a quarterback from the defensive end. If you drop him back in like a zone blitz, like that's, if you remember, Kelsey caught the touchdown because they had Josh Allen trying to cover Kelsey. So, they're trying to be cute. They're trying to play, which I understand because we're running a 3-4, and you got all this flexibility, and you don't want to show the same things over and over again. But, man, the guys just don't know how to play in space. They just really don't. They're just and until they figure that out, I don't know. I mean, it's maybe it's something that'll. The frustrating thing for me is Olukun, because he's been in the league for a while. And the other frustrating thing is that this is, if you think about what we're talking about Josh Allen, who was an investment that should be paying returns. Yep, Trayvon Walker, who was just,
we're first overall pick.
Devin Lloyd, Chad Muma, Olukun, all of these guys that we've invested in, and not one of them except for Muma, who we're not even playing that much. And maybe if he got on the field more, we'd expose him as a, you know, and with his issues too. I don't know, but it's frustrating because in regards to the concept of, well, you know, future success, I don't know how it's going to happen because the guys that we've invested in up to this point seem absolutely unable to play in the league at any high level. They're not good. So that stinks.
Yeah, so truth be told, we don't have anybody on our defense in the fourth quarter when we need it to step up and take over the game. We have no dominance. And in fact, dominance, we have no accountability. I mean, I don't know. If you want to put any negative thing there, you can put it there and it will fit. Look at our cornerback, Trey Herndon. Right? He's our starting corner now that we benched Shaquille Griffin.
Yeah.
Now, rightfully so. Shaquille Griffin should have been benched. He was playing awful.
Now, we never talked about this, but was it a benching or was it? It seems odd, right?
This is a benching. So he was playing awful, and they benched him, which I like. I don't care how much money you make. I don't care where you were drafted.
And they covered it up with an injury, you think?
And I think they covered it up for an injury for this fact. If they play him and he gets hurt, we owe him money next year. After this year, Shaquille Griffin is no longer a Jacksonville Jaguar.
Well, there's no question about that.
So he's getting cut. They know that. I think he knows that. So I think they've settled on, we're just not going to let you get hurt.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's the frustrating thing. It doesn't seem to matter what moves we make.
Literally, outside of Campbell on the other side, who is playing damn good, outside of our safeties, who are playing damn good, we have nothing. Cisco's coming on. He looks like a bright spot. He looks like a future guy.
Yeah.
You know, Jenkins, he looks good. He looks like a guy that
Cisco and Jenkins looks like a pair of really nice safeties.
Duo, a very good duo. Now,
if there was any play in front of them, my gosh, man.
Yes. I mean, they're balling. Those three guys are balling. The problem is nobody else outside of Smoot, and Smoot is a role player, rotational guy. He's not in all the time. And if he was, he may not make those plays.
Right.
The problem is it's our defense. To me, it looks like scheme, and it also looks like recognition. You know, again, we're playing this. I've heard this multiple times. We're playing this zone man. Zone man simply means you have a section of the football field that you're responsible for. When a guy runs into that section, that is your man. At that point, you go with him wherever he goes.
Right.
The problem with that is the minute that guy comes in there and you take him and you run out of your zone, other teams are bringing other players into that vacated zone, and there's nobody there. They know this, and guess what? We haven't changed it. We have seen this multiple times, and we have not changed it. We said, no, we're good. Our guys can do it. It is now, 10 games in? Our guys can't effing do it. So stop it.
Yeah.
I understand that you're going to get bunch, and this scheme is really good against a bunch formation, right?
The zone?
Because, the zone man. Because when the bunch formation breaks up, it doesn't matter who comes into your zone, right? It doesn't matter whether it's the left guy. It doesn't matter whether it's the right guy. It doesn't matter whether it's the center guy. You're taking that guy, leaving everybody else to pick up the pieces based off their routes. So that, to me, tells me, okay, well, that's what this was designed to do. But then teams see this, and they say, oh, okay, here you go. We'll just run the tight end on a delay across the field right into that zone. We know that zone's going to be vacated. We're going to put the tight end right there, and that's exactly what happened. Because you don't have anybody on the defensive line to get to the quarterback in that 3 seconds.
Yeah, no, I mean, I've seen it a number of times. I mean, I just don't know that we're running man zone all the time. I don't know what we're running. You know, I really don't. I think it's just sometimes, even on the run plays, like I said, the idea of your two middle linebackers, if you think the concept of a zone, you're splitting up the middle section of the field into two parts. Two hashes basically. You have one hash, I have the other. I don't know why Lloyd is always on Olakun's hash. I don't really understand what's going on with that. But they seem to be together in the same hole, not doing anything. Like, they're not where the ball is. So it's like, I think they're getting faked out somehow. Maybe maybe that's something else that's out. Show movement to the right, and you're going to get both linebackers flow to the right, vacating the left, and somebody's going to be right there, and maybe they're just not able to. Anyway, but we could beat a dead horse on this. It's a chess match. There's all this stuff. It's just and the frustrating thing, I think, at this point, if it's scheme, then we need to change it. If it's not scheme and it's players, then we got a problem too. And I just it gets a little frustrating. I mean,
well, so if it's scheme, I think it's easier to fix. If it's players, dude, we're so screwed. We're so screwed because Trent Baalke brought these guys in. So therefore, it's not technically the player's fault. Dude, Trent, come pay me millions of dollars, man. I'll go out there. I'll be your next Shaquem Griffin. Woo! Yeah, come on. Pay me.
Yeah, that's the frustrating part. You end up, just because you made a move, you think you're going to get better. The problem is that it doesn't seem to matter what move we make as an organization. It seems like it's always the wrong one. It just gets old. And again, it weighs on your hope for the foreseeable future, because you don't. Yeah. If it's personnel, how many times do you have to wait 2 years to we're rebuilding again? 2 years later, we're rebuilding again. And 2 years later, rebuilding again. It's like,
and you're always fed a bunch of crap from the local media. The local media will always tell you.
Well, in fairness, they don't know. Nobody knows, because we don't know. Like, is it scheme? Because everybody's sitting there going, why are the guys out of position all the time? Why is it so different? Like, when you see players make plays in college, and I get that there's a transition, but you see other teams bring guys from college and they're fine. So I don't know. We've changed coaches, we've changed GMs, we've changed players, we've changed owners. And it's like,
have we?
Well, we haven't changed owners in a while, but I don't think he affects anything. That's the thing. And maybe I
agree. I think neither negatively nor positively does he affect anything. And I think, honestly, that might be some of an issue. Like, if I'm Khan, I don't know how you're not having at least Zoom meetings from your yacht saying, what the hell is going on?
Yeah.
I don't know how that works. 3 games with a fourth quarter lead. Figure it out. I'm paying you to figure it out. Why is Trayvon Walker our first round draft pick, our number 1 overall pick, and he's not affecting the QB? Figure it out. That's it. Why? Figuring it out shouldn't be that hard. That's why I'm always like, this is scheme. Because if you tell them,
if it's scheme.
So Doug Peterson schemes open receivers, right?
Yeah.
And you can see it.
Yeah.
Are you telling me we can't scheme pass rush? Safety blitz, a corner blitz, something.
Well, Doug Peterson chose Caldwell.
Yeah, and that's true. And that might be his undoing.
And here's the thing, too.
I'm not impressed with Caldwell.
Here's the thing, too. Where's the issue? Linebacker. What did Caldwell play?
He's a linebacker.
I mean, I don't understand it. You focused on linebacker, both free agent and through the draft. And so you've got the horses, supposedly. You got a guy who's got the linebacker mindset, and yet linebacker is clearly the weakest link on our team. That doesn't make sense. I mean, it shouldn't be that way. You wouldn't expect it to be that way. It's almost like whatever our focus is, that's the worst thing. It's almost it's weird.
That's where our problems lie.
Yeah. So and that's Peterson too.
Welcome to Duval. Woo!
All right, let's talk about the Ravens. Let's talk about the Ravens.
This is easy, man. The game comes down to Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson's going to play. How good have we done against running quarterbacks? I mean, we made Danny Dimes a 100-yard rusher. Patrick Mahomes picked
it's
up
going to be another Jalen Hurts game.
3 different 3rd and longs, right? To keep the drives alive. Jalen Hurts completely killed us. Right? Honestly, so here's how you beat the Ravens. The Ravens have a good defense. So this will be a nice test for our offense. For TNT. Woo! But so we simply do not play well against rushing quarterbacks at this point because of our linebacker play.
Any quarterback.
Well,
truth be told,
you stop Lamar Jackson, you keep him in the pocket, you make him throw, and you take away Mark Andrews. That's how you beat the Ravens.
Which takes linebackers. That's the issue we've got. We don't have linebackers who. So what you'll see is Mark Andrews will be wide open.
Yes, and
Lamar.
Jackson,
Lamar's the thing that I think. What I see from our defense is we get no pressure and we leave giant holes. Teams feel completely comfortable. The offenses are completely comfortable. So until they shake things up and change things, the truth of the matter. And here's the thing. Here's a thing to watch for me. Not necessarily the X's and the O's. It's about man on man in the trenches. The Ravens are a Titan-like team in regards to how they play. They're a different scheme, X's and O's wise, but they have the same mentality, which is they're going to come in, their job's to smack you in the mouth, and you're not, man on man, they're going to take it to you, and that's their thing. What we are, apparently, is a finesse team because we lack that. We don't have that. The problem is that we don't have the guys that are able to finesse. We don't have the athleticism, apparently. We don't have whatever it takes to out X's and O's and finesse teams. So we're going to run into a team that is going to basically just try to force their will on the Jaguars, and we have been in every game, okay, for the most part. Even the Chiefs game, we were in that one. But here's what I'm gonna guess. I'm gonna make a prediction. I'm just throwing it out there. This will be the first blowout for us. I think the Ravens are going to blow us out. I think we're going to look, and because the matchup doesn't look favorable to me because this team looks like a team that lacks heart to me. And maybe it'll change, and I hope it does, but my expectation is this will be the first game where we feel like we were never in it. And if that happens, Katie bar the doors because we got the Titans twice, and that's going to be very similar games. So we're going to have, instead of people thinking we're going to have capture this momentum and make, like people are talking about 96 Jags and crap, like, oh well they were 4-7 or whatever it was when they turned it on. It's like, yeah, but that team was scrappy, that team was tough. This team is weak, very weak. Like, they're not tough people. They're in proportion.
Right.
I mean,
you're right.
In relative terms to the teams they're playing, you can see it. You can see the other teams have heart and we don't. And it's that whole thing about, we're patting each other on the back, saying everything's going to be all right, that we're actually really good, even though the results aren't. And it's like, I think that's a bad mentality. And I think it leads to, and I think what's happening is Doug Peterson and Trevor have kept us in these games up until this point. And I think the Ravens are going to expose us for what we are, which is a kind of a weak-hearted team. And I hope that's not the case. I hope they change it.
I don't see this as being a huge scoring game, but I agree. I can see us being shut out in this game.
Yeah.
I can see us being shut out because the Ravens have a decent D. They're going to test our line. Our line's played very well. I have no problems with our line. Even if this happens, I don't have a problem with our line. I think our line is a decent line. They're good. They're earning their money is what I think. But I think that we're not going to be able to scheme enough on offense to consistently move the ball, to consistently generate first downs and touchdowns. And I think Lamar Jackson at every point is going to simply wait for Arden Key, for Roy Robinson Harris, for Josh
Just
Allen,
wait, they'll get out of
for
position.
Trayvon Walker to get out of position. And he is literally just going to scoot. And he'll slide every 10 yards. Whoop, first down. Fuck you.
Yeah, because
Whoop,
it's
10
not
yards.
it's not
Whoop.
brain surgery when it comes to Lamar. You can't get overzealous getting upfield. You have to maintain your integrity on the defensive line. Everybody has the concept of zones that we were just talking about in regards to the linebackers and the coverage has to be thought of, or that's one way to think about it in regards to the line. You've got 4 down linemen, whichever ones are coming, and they have to maintain a pocket and keep Lamar in the pocket and make him throw the ball. What will inevitably happen is there'll be some twist or stunt where one guy will loop in, the other one won't be able to get back out, and there'll be this gaping hole on the side. Lamar will sneak right on out and run. This is what you're going to see. And here's the thing, too. The Chiefs game, as I watched it, the other thing so the Chiefs are more of a finesse team. They're an X's and O's, Mahomes and Kelsey. They're not a team that comes in and smash mouths you. They look like that against us. Like we made them look like a tough team. Like think about their offensive and defensive lines actually were better than our offensive and defensive lines in that game. They shouldn't be. Not on paper, they're not. But they were. So when you get a team that's actually plays tough, like the Ravens, I think we're gonna be in for a tough day, unfortunately. And I think instead of people talking about 96 Jags, I think after this game we're gonna be talking about the draft. Unfortunately, and
right,
whether we get bulky out.
But like I could see this being 21 zip. I could see this being 17 zip.
Yeah,
and we never had a chance because they shut us down on third downs, and we never stopped.
I think we'll score. We'll score. Be like 28-10 or something like that. Because maybe in the third quarter, like that's my expectation. And unless the coaches have really sat back over this bye week and decided to make a change, I can't see it come. This is what I'm expecting to happen. Like I said, I think we've been in every game, and I think that ends, unfortunately.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Going into this season, I thought the Ravens game was a completely winnable game, but after watching this team play, no.
I agree, but I think this is a really good test for our offense. Again, our offense has kept us in, even with Trevor throwing high in the first quarter, even with him throwing picks in the end zone. The offense has kept us in games, and it's our defense that's given up the lead late in the fourth quarters to lose us those games. Even with that, this is a good test to see how our offense is. Because you're right, this is a smash mouth Tennessee type team. If we can score, if we can consistently move the ball, we most likely won't win. But we can come away saying our offense is improving. Our offense can play with this type of team. We can cut up our intensity or pissed offness, whatever you want to call it. We can cut that up a notch to match that and hang with some of those teams. That to me, that's what I'm looking for. I'm not expecting to win anymore on any of our games. I do want to see who starts the game at linebacker. I do want to see if they've actually benched Lloyd. I think Lloyd does deserve a bench.
Yeah.
I'm almost Caldwell. Damn, I'd bench you too. I don't understand. I don't understand what's going on here. I don't get it, but I agree. I think our defensive line is going to get completely out of a jar of their lanes. and it's going to open things up for Lamar Jackson, and they're just going to control the clock. They're going to go down this. They're not going to beat us throwing over our heads. They're going to beat us just simply 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 yards at a time.
I just like if they start off with Trayvon in the middle and they put Lloyd at defensive end, I'll feel a lot better about our opportunity at that point.
That ain't coming. That ain't coming because they don't seem smart enough to do that as a coaching staff.
Yeah.
I would love to see the first 3rd and long to have Josh Allen and Walker right beside each other with Lloyd over filling up where Walker was playing. I would love to see that. But they're not smart enough to do this. I mean, they're not smart people is what it looks like on the defensive side. I don't want to take anything away from Doug Peterson, but when he goes back and he reevaluates this season, he has to see that his defensive coaches have been lacking. Because if pound for pound we have the same horses the rest of the teams do, then it's scheme.
I mean, it's heart to me. It's just, and this is the problem I've got, and I don't know if this is just the sort of style that takes a while to develop into something, but it seems like like I said, the idea of sitting back and patting each other on the back when you're losing all the time, I don't like that, and I don't know how you're ever going to engender in human beings the idea of going out and beating the man in front of them when they think somebody else is like the ball will just bounce our way this time. I don't understand that mentality.
That's right. You have to instill a will to win. You have to will yourself to win in this league. And that takes confidence. So I can sort of understand the we're going to get it next time. We're not that far away. Because you want to keep confidence in these guys. But at the same time, you have to have somebody saying, "What are you doing?"
Yeah. Nobody's calling each other to account, it does not appear.
And
because
maybe they're doing it. Maybe they're doing that privately.
You'll get them next time. Get them next time. That's what you see. I don't think there's any private stuff like that. I think what you see is because everybody's saying the same things. That's the thing. It's like this is what everybody's waiting for, that turn that's going to magically happen, and I don't think anybody's actually going to make it happen. So it's never going to happen. Is what I think is going to happen. Is what I think we're seeing right now. Let me one thing of note before we end this. Darrell Henderson was picked up by the Jags after the Rams got rid of him. This just highlights and to the brain trust that we have right now of getting rid of Robinson.
Yes. Yep.
Because if you noticed in that game, and Tony Romo pointed this out, JaMychal Hasty cost us a drive 2 different times, and now they're picking up a running back. I don't understand why we got rid of Robinson. Nobody understands that. And anytime, this is the frustrating thing about being a Jaguar player or Jaguar fan. You watch them deal with these players, and every time they make a decision that seems strange, it is strange. Like it doesn't ever seem to be a genius move. Like, oh, we're just the guys that don't understand, so we don't know how great a move that was. No, it never is. Like when they do something that seems on the surface to be a bad move, it actually is a bad move. And the Robinson, the fact that we went out and got Darrell, I'm no problem with Darrell Henderson as a player, but the fact that we felt the need to get him means we messed up when we got rid of Robinson.
I concur. I didn't understand it then. I don't understand why in this NFL day, you need a 1-2 punch. Hasty's not it. You should have been able to see that from the practice field. And the fact that you didn't tells me that seriously, when it comes to player personnel, we have an issue. We have the same issue we have always had. We have a GM who believes he's smarter than everybody else. And guess what? He is the Forrest Gump in the room.
Well, there you have it.
That's
So,
how we're leaving it. Life is like a box of chocolates.
we are this time of year where we always are, fellow Jag fans. We are looking
And
at
I'm
the draft.
sorry. Yep.
So we'll
So
see.
I'm not hating on you for doing that. If you
I
want to look at the draft, look at the draft.
You,
I think next week we're going to come to you.
I don't know
with
why
a
we do.
recap of
I
the
don't know
game.
why we do, because who are we going to draft? It's not going to work. Like, that's just been we get number 1 overall. We draft a guy who can't pass rush. And like, I get it. I mean, this is not a slight against him.
Walker,
I understand. This is what I expected, and he's not a failure in that respect, but it's just like everything around. When you add in Devin Lloyd and Chad Muma, the only thing good's Fortner. Right now, I mean, you focus on defense and you look like garbage. Your defense looks like total garbage. I don't know. Maybe it'll turn around, but I like I said, I hope I come back and eat crow or raven, but I don't think I will. I think this is going to be the first game where we just don't appear to really be in it at all. That's my guess.
And it's coming off a bye, and you had multiple weeks to try to get ready and understand how they play. And I think we're still going to drop the ball.
Yeah. Let's see what happens.
Frustrating season for the Jaguars.
Well, anyway, we can console each other as we
often do.
Yeah, have our pity parties as Jag fans. Wish we had a professional football team.
And keep Anheuser-Busch and Jack Daniels well employed.
At least we have a professional offense, though. We will, like you said, we can move the ball. Red zone's an issue, but
it looks like it's coming together. We're just not at a point where we're going to outrun anybody yet.
Maybe it takes a while for the defense scheme to work. I don't know, but we're belaying the point of we've talked this dead as much as we can. So if you guys,
that's right. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us. If you have any comments, please go ahead and comment. Hit the like, subscribe button. We appreciate it.
Till next time, guys.
Till next time.